Hello and welcome to WODtv. I'm Cam Birtwell. I'm sitting here with Lucas Parker, and today we're going to be talking about the CrossFit 2014 Regionals.
Yeah, it's that time of year. It comes around faster every year. I guess that's because CrossFit HQ does such a good job of hyping it up with their videos and releases all through the season. But also we as tried and true CrossFitters, we're champing at the bit all year to sort of get our hands on the workouts, see the other athletes compete in the other regions, and also sort of see who's going to be the star in our region. It's an exciting time of year. It's also a very nerve-wracking time of year, especially now that the workouts are announced and Canada West is in the first round of regionals. We have to sort of scramble to decide on our strategies. Are we going to do the workouts? Are we not going to do the workouts? There's a lot of sort of calls to make in the next few days here before we start.
Yeah. We've often talked about how the regionals kind of fits in the broader context of a test for the fittest human on earth. And each year the regionals is slightly different, and obviously it's different than the Open and the Games. How do you feel that this year's regionals really fits into that comprehensive test for the fittest human on earth?
As I've been in CrossFit for a few years now, you sort of get a feel for the kind of the flavor of each stage of the season. The Open tends to be very sort of set in place, lots of reps, moderate to light weights, moderate to longer-ish workouts. You got to kind of have your barbell and your pull-up bar and your wall ball right there in case you need to fill. The finals, the games, are on the total flip side of that. We could be running up and down the beach, swimming out in the ocean. The sky's the limit, and hopefully, not literally, we might end up skydiving one of these years. Nobody knows. But the regionals fall somewhere in between. So we've got a sort of an arena setup, and it seems like the way they're going is they want to offer a very sort of spectator-friendly experience where you see the competitors moving through the arena from point A to point B to complete the workout.
Right.
Now you have a limited amount of space, so that generally means there's going to be transitions from exercise to exercise. Athletes are going to be moving their bars, moving to different rep markers, and that's sort of the way things are going. And you can use that knowledge or that understanding to maybe guess what some of the workouts are. So let's maybe talk a little bit about some programming. What do you think about the general overview of how things are laid out this year?
It's interesting. I've heard a lot of complaints this year, more than other years, about the nature of the movements they're in. And we know in CrossFit you have to be prepared for everything and anything that could potentially come about. Although, like you say, that regionals is kind of a confined space. I really like the appearance of higher level skills trickling down from the CrossFit Games. I think we're getting to the point now where handstand walks should be a regionals level skill, and same thing with strict handstand push-ups and the legless rope climbs. I think those are going to add a lot of excitement to the events this year.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. It's definitely kicked up a notch this year, especially to be biased on the female side of things. A lot of females are going to struggle with the more demanding gymnastics, upper body movements specifically, the strict handstand push-ups, the legless rope climbs. That one workout with the 21:15:963 that has a 21-minute time cap, there's going to be some people who are doing handstand push-ups for 21 minutes. So that's going to be pretty devastating. But overall, I like how things are laid out this year. It looks like they're giving more of an eye to the safety of the athletes, which is always debatable year to year. Do you make things safe, or do you just decide what the best test is and see who survives and see who doesn't? I do like that this year they started with the higher sort of skill and stability demanding events. So for example, doing a hang snatch and a handstand walk on the first day is going to be much safer and offer much more competitive performances for everybody than doing it on, say, the second or the third day, which is like something we saw in 2011. We had this hundreds workout with 100 overhead squats at 95 pounds at the end of it, and that destroyed everyone. And then the next morning, Sunday morning, we had to do a man with full snatches and muscle ups. So that kind of thinking and programming, it looks like is sort of on its way out, and they may be including a bit more sort of an eye towards the safety of the athletes, which I like.
Agreed. Yeah, it's a good step forward for sure, and we're still going to see a comprehensive test of people's abilities, I think, and it does have to be demanding, and I think that's been touched on in the past. Like, the test has to be demanding, but that kind of awareness of where to place those events to get the maximum out of the athletes and minimize that chance of injury is really important, and I think they've done a good job of that this year.
Most people are talking about the strict handstand push-ups, the rope climbs, maybe the handstand walk. This is going to be really hard, but I think that 50s workout is going to take a lot of people by surprise.
Oh yeah.
It all totals up to, I guess, 100 of almost everything. And moving through the middle there, you've got to go transition from 50 wall balls to 50 ring dips back to 50 wall balls.
Right.
That is going to stop people dead in their tracks.
I can imagine.
Especially with the new standard on the ring dips, which I love. They have the strap that goes
right.
across between the two straps on the rings.
Yep.
And you're actually going to have to move your shoulders up to somewhat of an upright position. You're actually going to have to move your hips down below the rings. And for a lot of competitors, that's going to be a totally new movement for them.
Yeah, agreed. And I think it's going to be taxing any way you cook it. I mean, people are looking at the weight to say, well, it's a 185-pound deadlift for men, and it's not a big deal. Put 50 reps or anything together with another 50 reps in the context of a 10 exercise routine is going to be pretty difficult.
I'm looking forward to the Naughty Nancy on the first night. That'll be sort of the first kind of, I guess, test of people's conditioning, but it's also a great test of unilateral leg strength, mobility, balance, flexibility. We've got the muscle ups in there for sets of 7, which if you go unbroken is not going to sort of win you the workout, but if you don't go unbroken, that's going to be sort of a big hit. So it's going to be a bit of a test to see, okay, who's going to maybe give themselves a bit more rest or a bit less rest. If you go down to singles, you're going to be in big trouble, so you might want to take a break.
Right.
And same thing on the hang cleans. You don't want to have to do 5 extra deadlifts per round. So you're going to want to try and maybe strategize a bit, challenge yourself in terms of when you rest, when you go, so you can rip through those reps appropriately.
Yeah, agreed. And the one I'm actually looking forward to is one of the most simple workouts out there. It's the sprint and the legless rope climb. I think a lot of people are thinking, oh, there's not a lot to it. The run isn't that far. But if you're doing a shallow run back and forth, and it's going to be maybe a 3-4 minute workout, it's going to be super taxing. And we all know how it feels to run with heavy arms, and everything's fired up. So I'm really looking forward to that. I think there's going to be some exciting lead changes. And again, the women will have to be a little bit judicious with their efforts. They'll have to make sure that they're, measuring their strength on those rope climbs. I think for most of the men, it's just going to be an all-out kind of war out there on the ropes. So
that's the distinction I would make. I think the men's side is going to be won by who can actually run hard in that workout.
Right.
The women's side is going to be won by whoever can manage their rest the best on the rope climbs. Go before they're ready, make it to the top, and have no missed reps. That's going to be a killer. If you miss 1 rep, that's an extra 10% you've just added to your workout, basically.
Right. Yeah, and on a short workout, that can really impact your performance. Yeah.